Hello there, Barb Pritchard here of Infinity Brand Design, and I'm excited to walk you through on how to change the background, update the color in Canva. So first off, what we want to do is just left click on this background right here. It kind of blends in with the actual Canva background, and that's basically by design for this particular by this particular template. So you focus on this. But when you left click on it, this square will pop up. Now, this square color is also going to change depending on whatever color you're clicking on, but the square is the most important part. So just left click on that square and it's going to bring up a myriad of things. A whole new world is going to open up for you. What you're going to see, the most important thing is right here on the top. This is, you'll either see document colors and you can kind of click around and kind of choose from there should you want to. Um, However, if you have your own branding, this is going to be something that's really key. You can left click on this rainbow box with a plus sign here, and you can paste in your hex code or type it in, whichever you should choose. Or you can, if you don't, if you just kind of want to play, you could click and drag in this box and you can just kind of create your own color. You can also now create your own gradient, which is pretty cool. Let's see. Something else too, if you kind of scroll down, depending on the version of Canva that you have, maybe you have your own brand kit. If you have Canva Pro and you've added in your own brand kit, you'll see this information here. I have multiple brand kits added in, so you'll see that there. Something else that's really cool is if you have photos added into the design, as you see here, Canva will pull in the different colors from that, and it gives you a great option, a bunch of different options that are complementary to the design, which I really like too. It kind of gives you a little bit of extra options. So, and then of course you have Canva's default colors, which you can choose from, which as you can see, may or may not work with this particular design. If you're ever in a peach, and forgive me for butchering that word because I'm from Texas, I say things funky. If you're ever in a pinch, a good rule of thumb is to go with typically either complementary colors or contrast colors. And if you're ever curious, you could check out photo colors here, or go to colors.adobe.com, and that will give you some really great tools to utilize for what is a great complementary color, what's a great contrast color. So, okay, since we're talking about colors, let me show you how to maybe change. I mean, it's really pretty similar. Let me show you how to change some shapes. This is very similar in that same thing. Actually, I'm going to left click off of it so you can kind of see, but I didn't. There we go. This is just a shape. It's just a rectangle shape. And you see when I left click on it, it brought up the same square and it's just purple this time. And I click on that and it's going to bring up the very same thing. Fonts, however, text is going to be kind of a similar thing, but it looks a little different when you first click on it. So I'm going to click up here on your name. And when I do, it brings up the text menu. You don't see that square, but what you do see is this A with the colored line underneath it. That's going to be your text color. But once you left click on that, it's going to bring up the very same menu with the document colors, the custom color rainbow goodness here, and then everything else down below. So you can play with that if you'd like. The beautiful thing The other beautiful thing about Canva, and they're always innovating, which is wonderful, is that perhaps maybe you want a little extra pizzazz to your design, and by maybe you want to add some kind of a little bit more fluidity or a little bit more goodness to it with patterns or something along those lines. You can do that with ease by going over here on the left hand side under elements. And most of these, I mean, you can find some free ones if you have the free version of Canva. You can have, let me click out of that. And you can, if you have the pro version, you have even more options available to you. Say, for example, we want something that is like, I'm going to go with, we'll go with this pink kind of pink color, or maybe a peach color. Let's see what that looks like. We'll do a peach background and see what that pulls up. What I would do in this instance is I would go to photos. This is going to give you a lot more options than the graphics will. Graphics, well, I'll show you what happens with the photos. Photos, what you can do is you can click and you can drag them down to your um, your canvas basically. So let's try, I really like this one. I think it's going to be too busy, but let's see. Let's try this one. I think it's also going to be too busy, but we'll see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to left click and drag. I'm holding down my left mouse key and I'm see how it does this with this how it kind of expands. Now I'm just going to let go and boom. It looks weird, right? What just happened? Canva has layers. So it's getting more advanced and it has really cool layers. So you can manipulate this. It did not ruin your design, I promise you. This is where you come up to the top and you utilize this position button. So left click on position and then click to back. Boom. And it shot it to the back. Now, looking at this, I don't think that I don't think that particular image works very well. But what you can do is you can still give it a chance. You can come up here to the transparency button and you can see, well, maybe if I lower the transparency, does it work? It might, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I personally am not a huge fan of that particular one. So what if you don't like it? You're like, I just don't think so. I'm going to raise that transparency a little all the way. And I'm just going to left click on it again and I'm going to hit delete. But you know what else you can do? What I would also suggest is whenever you drag anything over as a color, as an image to your, as an element, you're dragging an image over to your background. What I would highly suggest doing is change that color, the background color, change that to white. Change that to white. Yes, it looks like it's blending in, but I promise you it's okay. Because say when you come over here to your elements, and you're looking for a photo, let's go back to the peach background, just see what happens. We'll find a photo. Um, let's try something a little different. Maybe, maybe something. We don't want anything. Here's the thing. Here's a good rule of thumb. When you have a lot going on here, and that's it's okay to have a lot going on here because you're providing information. You're in this particular, I mean, regardless of what the template is, you're providing information. You don't want to distract them with with a busy background, right? You want to just provide, just make it something simple. This is a beautiful background. We'll see what this can do. Sometimes in certain scenarios that can do it. So again, I dragged it over there. Now I'm going to position to back and I'm going to hit the transparency and I'm going to make it light. In this case, I think this would work. I don't particularly think that color is the right color. I think maybe more of a pink color would work, but I think you get the gist. So this is how you can update the background. You can change the colors and not just the background, but also the text and in shapes and all of this kind of stuff. But this is how you can really take your templates to the next level and really make them just extra good and extra you. Add that little extra level of magic of you into your templates and make them yours. So I hope this is helpful. Have a beautiful day, my friend.